Sunday evenings used to feel like a soft blanket, laundry humming in the dryer, soup doing slow breaths on the stove, and me convincing myself that routine has happened in the soup. The house was quiet enough to hear the hallway clock, the kind of quiet that turns every thought up to full volume. I was in Nathan's oversized sweatshirt that smells like cedar and engine grease when Sarah knocked like she always does. 2 quick taps. One hesitant third. I let her in and she took one look at me and said, "You're doing that smile again. The one where my mouth cooperates, but my eyes don't." We opened a bottle of red and settled into the couch. Warm lamplight flattened the sharp edges of the room. Sarah tucked her feet under her and listened the way only she can, chin-tipped, eyebrows soft, silence shaped like an invitation. I told her about my day, the grocery clerk who called me ma'am, with a pitying smile, the way Nathan left his boots facing different directions like they were arguing, the spreadsheet that wouldn't balance no matter how patiently I fed it numbers. I made jokes because humor feels safer than honesty. She laughed in all the right places, and I felt the first seam come loose. The wine lowered my guard and raised the volume on a dull ache I've carried for years, a loneliness that somehow lives inside a shared bed. I thought about the first year with Nathan, how we used to talk until the walls learned our secrets. Now we schedule intimacy like a dentist appointment and kiss each other with the efficiency of hotel staff turning down a room. I'm 34 and exhausted by how often I choose peace over truth. Sarah squeezed my knee. "What's really going on?" she asked for words. A T or A P D O O or. My throat burned. I watched the cursor blink on my phone for no reason at all, stalling. Like a student who didn't do the reading. The clock kept ticking. Somewhere upstairs, a floorboard sighed. I don't know how to say this without sounding ungrateful. I started, feeling my pulse beat against the rim of the wine glass. I think the word lodged, then loosened. I think I made a home out of habits and called it love. The wine had burned itself down to a low warmth in my chest, loosening the knots I'd spent years keeping tight. Sarah sat so close I could see her mascara flake at the corner of her lashes. The lamplight made the living room look like it belonged to someone else, soft, forgiving, suspended. It slipped out of me without planning, like a secret that had been waiting for a week seam. "Some days I wish I hadn't married him." The words dropped heavy between us, louder than the ticking clock. Sarah blinked. "You don't mean that." She said it quick, like if she moved fast enough she could shove this sentence back into my mouth. But I didn't scramble to take it back. The quiet that followed was worse than any scolding. I swirled the last sip of wine and let myself hear the echo of my own voice. The terrifying thing was I did mean it, at least part of me. I remembered being 24 and so sure that saying yes to Nathan meant saying yes to forever. But forever had turned into parallel lives under the same roof. "It's not that. I don't care for him," I said, my voice shaking in the middle like a weak bridge. "It's just, I don't feel it anymore, not the way I should." Love turned into routine, into duty. We share bills, dinners, a bed, but not desire. Sarah leaned forward, her face tight with worry. "People go through phases. You're just tired, stressed. It doesn't mean it's gone." But the words kept spilling. I used to wake up and feel lucky. Now I wake up and check if there's milk left in the fridge, if the trash needs taking out, if he's left his boots muddy by the door. I don't look at him, I look around him. He deserves someone who can still love him like that. I don't think I am that person anymore. The room felt too small for the truth I had unleashed. My hands shook, but there was also relief, a dangerous freedom. Sarah reached for me, eyes wide, as if she could physically catch the shards I'd just thrown into the air. And upstairs, without my knowing, a shadow paused in the hallway. A floorboard creaked and went still, as if the house held its breath. I didn't know Nathan was there until morning told on him. No boots by the door, no keys in the ceramic bowl, no back later note under the magnet. The kettle never sang. The silence had a new temperature, colder, clean, like a room after someone moves out. I walked the house in a loop, trying to believe I'd missed him somehow. His closet was half air, the drawer with his spare change empty. The groove in the couch where he sat already tried to forget him. Then my laptop lit with a new email. Subject: "I heard you." His message was polite the way a surgeon is polite. He hadn't meant to overhear, but once he did, it felt kinder to stop pretending. "You deserve the kind of love you still believe in," he wrote. I deserved to not be a habit. He'd filed the papers that morning. He'd resigned. By the time I read his words, he was already on the road for a while. I drove to his office anyway, heart jackhammering. His desk was an outline in dust. A coworker said he turned in his badge, hacked the receptionist, and left with a relieved smile. His phone went straight to nowhere. His socials were a clean white wall. Every trail I chased ended at a locked door. Days blurred. Then the package arrived, thick envelope, my name squared in his careful handwriting, divorce papers, already signed, a small stack of photographs, our first apartment, his hand holding my mitten one. A sun-drunk day at the lake, on the back of the last picture, a sentence, thank you for the part of the road we walked. I signed because there was no honest way not to. At night, the house learned to be just mine. Months passed. A private investigator found nothing but the echo of a man who chose to be new. Sometimes, when the clock is loud and the fridge hums, like a faraway highway, I rehearse the words I wish I'd said before he had to hear the worst ones. I could say I didn't mean it, but what I mean now matters more. I loved him in pieces and called it asterisk asterisk.